Sehr gut. Sehr gut.
I'm a time traveler from the year 2025, and I've come here to kill you, Hitler.
Oh, not again. I'm never gonna have enough time to finish these paintings with all of these time travelers trying to kill me.
Well, I'm going to succeed.
Before you pull the trigger, can I just ask why? Why do all of you people want to kill me?
Isn't it obvious? I'm a progressive, a liberal, a fighter for social justice. And you are a fascist who implemented a reign of terror. And while the effects of your policies devastated the world for decades, soon we will be able to take back the White House, and we will be able to use the government to force people to follow our great ideas.
You want to use government power to force your ideas on the populace. Me too! That's fantastic!
What? No. Ugh. You and I have nothing in common. What I'm saying is there are people in our time with dangerous ideas, and we need to silence them.
Silencing those who disagree with you. I do that too! Oh, wunderbar! Oh, the Nazi movement will not die with me.
Don't give me that! I'm enlightened, and you're as bad as... well, as Hitler. Listen, what I'm trying to say is we are very close to implementing a utopia, as long as we can get rid of some certain undesirable people groups.
Yes, like the Jews.
Yes, like the Jews. Oh.
So, in the future, you also do not like the Jews?
Well, no. But we don't believe in segregating all the races like you do. I mean, except for, like, graduation ceremonies. In dorms. And hiring practices. Oh, and admissions policies. That sort of thing.
I, too, am a fan of the segregation. I'm sorry, I have to ask, is this a real firearm or is this some kind of toy for kids?
It's a flare gun. I'm trying not to support America's toxic gun culture. I'm a firm believer in gun control.
Gun control! This was one of my ideas, too. Ban them from the undesirables. Yes, look here. Oh, and your shirt. This is an organization founded by Margaret Sanger. Yes?
Wait, you know about Margaret Sanger?
Jawohl, of course. Oh, she's such a lovely person.
No. She's a fighter for reproductive rights, for women's empowerment,
and the eradication of undesirable populations by means of eugenics. Brilliant lady, very inspiring. I must use some of her ideas in our socialized healthcare system.
Socialized healthcare? That's not your thing. That's our thing.
No, it's very much my thing. Did you know that Nazi means National Socialist German Workers' Party? Nazi is just more catchy. Nazi. Just rolls off the tongue.
No. This can't be true. This has to be some sort of mistake. We are nothing alike. You're Adolf Hitler, evil right-wing fascist dictator, and I'm a feminist restorative justice advocate. And a vegetarian.
You're a vegetarian? Me too!
Okay, I am so confused right now. I came here with a clear goal in mind to kill the most evil man to have ever lived. Besides Ronald Reagan. But now that I'm meeting you in person, you're not at all what I thought you were. And your painting is actually really good. What do you call it?
I call it Ein Reich ohne Juden.
Wow. I don't know what that means, but it sounds beautiful.
It does, doesn't it?
That Babylon Bee skit hits a little closer to home today, doesn't it? Hey, folks, welcome to the program. Do me a finger, would you please? Yeah, give me the finger. You can give me the middle finger. I don't care. Give me the finger and share this program, like and rumble it. This is going to be a highly educational program, so you understand some of the things that happened in this recent election where Dems swept it, but more importantly, what you can do procedurally correct to do this. Today's program, folks, is brought to you by the fine folks at Goldco. Yep. Here's all I'm asking you to do. It's very simple. I told you this was going to happen in this election. Pay attention, folks. I told you something's going to happen to our money. I'm asking you to go to jovanlovesgold.com. Please. jovanlovesgold.com. Request your gold and silver kit. It's free. Why wouldn't you do it? Especially if you have a 401k, IRA, retirement savings account, something's coming. I think there's going to be a big ding. That means they're going to take away part of your money, all in the name of, well, we got to go digital. So now is the time to protect your money with gold and silver. By the way, you might get up to $10,000 in free silver if your account qualifies. Okay. And don't forget the time of the year. We've got something going for you. You asked us to bring it back. We brought it back. Protect your food security. Got $1,000 off. Take a quick shot of the code on the screen or copy the screen for the URL and go. You asked us to bring it back. We got it back. Of course, we're going to talk about the alien invasion. Yes, the alien voter invasion. Okay. If you want to understand what you can do, you're going to want to share this right now, especially your family, friends, New York, Virginia, wherever they are, where the Dems swept. You're going to want them to watch particularly this episode. I'm going to give you the remedy and how to deal with it. I'm going to show you where the cracks are in the system and how they allow it. And you're going to see it all comes down to words. So you're going to have a little extra long break before we get started here. So start sharing this program right now.
Start spreading the news. I'm leaving today. I want no friggin' part of it. New York, New York. These Hugo Boss shoes are longing to stray and take an Uber to LaGuardia, Ta-ta, New York. I want to wake up in a city that's safe and free, without that slick jive-ass mayor, Comrade Mamdani. It's clear that Gen Z knows no history, just DEI and woke philosophy. Imagine North Korea with a dash of Sharia. That's what you got. New York, New York. New York, New York. I want to wake up in a city that feels like home, and not with defunded police, migrants galore, man dummy run grocery stores. Thinks he's a genius, ALC with a penis. It's time to stick a fork in it. New York, you're done. Soon the tax base will be gone to Boca Raton, while Jaime Town becomes Commie Town. Should've elected the hack instead of the quack. Rest in peace, New York.
Warning, the following program has been rated Dilligaff and is intended for open-minded audiences. If the truth offends you, or if you are allergic to focused intensity, intellectual athleticism, or the occasional F-bomb or even irreverent humor, please switch off now. If your delicate sensibilities need to be worried about or addressed, might we recommend the Underwater Basket Weaving channel to you? Otherwise, sit back, enjoy the wisdom, insight, and wicked sense of humor.
Cut the crap. How many times a day do you want to say that to politicians, the elite, the loony liberals, the fake news media, and the gender-confused, emotional socialist snowflake crowd? Cut the crap is your secret weapon for fighting for our freedoms and our great republic. It all begins with a massive mental enema, freeing you from the toxic news and politically correct views, which constipate your consciousness with stinking thinking. Your host, Jovan Hutton Pulitzer, he's known for calling out politicians and telling them to cut the crap. You've seen him on virtually every television network and listened to him on Coast to Coast Radio. And now he's here to help you learn to fight for America. Culture, race, and American politics. They all have one thing in common. They all need to cut the crap. Now, here's your host, Jovan Hutton Pulitzer.
Okay, folks, welcome back to the program. We're going to be talking about crap, culture, race, and American politics, because right now we got some crap going on. It went on in New York, Virginia, etc. This episode is going to show you how the system, and I really only use Democrats as a marker because Republicans do it too, how all of this was perfected using alien voter invasion. And that's what propelled the Democrats to win. It's true. Now, this isn't, just so you understand, this is not going to be bad news. It's going to feel bad. You're going to say it sucks. You're going to go, oh my God, I thought this wouldn't happen. Come on, folks. What'd you think after the Arizona audit and the system and the cons and everything? Got everything to ignore it when you saw the evidence yourself? This is part of the con going on because, you know, then Barack Obama, who is the great messiah, grand poobah of the Democrats, just look, the numbers tell you, you do not need a single guru, election expert, math professor, law professor, any of that crap to show you what's going on literally. Obama got 69 million votes when he was the brand new hailed messiah of the Democrat Party. His second term, he got 65 million votes. Then when Hillary ran against Trump, she got 65 million votes. Now, I can kind of believe she's about as popular as Obama. But then we got that big middle finger FU of Biden with 81 million votes. And then with this recent election, even though they allowed Trump to win and then stole the down ticket, which is what's going on right now, you're seeing, they're trying to convince you that Kamala was more popular than Hillary, more popular than Obama 2.0, and almost as popular as Obama 1.0. But see, that's not the deal. That was a year ago. But see, the bitch of it is, they've continually raised Kamala's votes. Did they leave the machines running everywhere for a year? Unsecured? Oh my God. No, of course they didn't, because that's not how it's done. So Kamala mid-year, they had already raised her to 74,749,891 votes. Now she's over 75,000 and still going. See, they're closing that gap. They're closing that gap with all the crap that they put on the voter rolls. But don't pay attention to that. That's sweeping the dirt floor, or so say the experts. It's where it all is. It's where it all is. And they're doing it right under our nose. And so my job is to make you the smartest patriot in the room. And I don't give a rat's ass if I'm on anybody's team, or I will call out conservatives and patriots equally as I will call out the left or the deep state. I called out President Trump. I love President Trump. I've spent great time with him. But I'm telling you, when you're wrong, you're wrong. And when he started saying bank the ballot, which is the GOP con, I pushed back and said, sir, look, that's pushing mail-in votes and early votes. Luckily, you changed this tune, but when the president says they're going to get rid of mail-in ballots, but the GOP says, bank your ballot, so gives it a new shiny name, which means the same damn thing. You know how bad the system is. I want to show you a few things to piss you off. Yeah, I want to show you a few things to piss you off. Bear with me. We will wash and rinse and spit afterwards. And you know me. I'm not a big proponent of spitting, but we will wash, rinse, and spit afterwards. Trust me. Here's what's going on across the nation.
Sharia law starts now. Absolutely. Zohran Mamdani, Islamic Caliphate, our brother in Islam, Islamic Caliphate of New York starts today, baby.
God, there is just something so electric, so satisfying about knowing that my MAGA parents, wherever they are probably having a horrible night tonight. Oh, I literally just got goosebumps thinking about it. Like they are in such a bad mood probably about the fact that Zoran just won and Prop 50 is gonna pass. Like, wow. God, I'm sorry. It just makes me feel good that my MAGA parents are probably upset right now.
When the day starts with Dick Cheney being dead and ends with Mamdani winning. Oh, yes. Oh. I'm so happy. Oh my God, I'm so happy.
I'm so happy. It's squeaky. It's squeaky affected toy.
How bad is it that the system taught your own children, our grandchildren to hate us? If that didn't piss you off, how about this? Let's go to New York real quick.
I can't, because this is America.
But you cannot take us.
Who? Who said?
Me.
What gives you special privilege?
You cannot take us, please.
Who said that?
You cannot do that.
Don't touch my happening right now in the Bronx.
ربنا فاغفر لنا ذنوبنا وكفر عنا سيئاتنا وتوفنا مع الأبرار ربنا وآتنا ما وعدتنا. Respond.
Are you taking videos?
Yep, I am. What happened? You want to ask me why I'm taking video?
Yeah.
Because I can't, because this is America.
I'm not saying don't take it. I said why.
Okay. I can't, because this is America.
But you cannot take us.
Who said?
Me.
What gives you special privilege?
You cannot take us, please.
Who said that to you?
You cannot do that.
Don't touch my phone.
No, don't do that. Don't do that.
I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck. This is fucking America.
That's New York City. Many of you know that I had an office for a long time at Rockefeller Center. Lived in New York. That's not the New York I know and love, but that's New York now. It's going to get worse. Mark my words. Now, I told you we're going to wash, rinse, and spit. Here, let me clean your palate before we get started.
Those are all your movies, dude.
Strangers from around the country pitched in after this 34-year-old man with Down syndrome lost his movie collection in a fire.
Ooh! Ooh! Look at all these, babies!
Mark Orsillo's sister Danielle says when a wildfire hit their town in California, they had only 20 minutes to evacuate. When the family returned to the home they lived in for 27 years, it was burned to the ground, including the majority of Mark's prized possessions, his movies. Danielle turned to Facebook for help, asking strangers to help rebuild his beloved collection. Days later, people had already sent more than 400. This was the big reveal. Danielle says the family is doing well and plans to rebuild on their property. And as for Mark, thanks to the kindness of strangers, his story has a happy ending.
Isn't that great? You know what? It should warm your heart. It reminds me that, well, I mourn for the time when people were human. Because that part of us, we've lost. Okay. This is going to be instructional. Take down notes. If you want to fix this, take down notes. If you want to fix this, open your mind. Forget the messenger. I'm just sharing the information. You don't have to like me. How? Even my haters watch me every day. You don't have to like me. But if we're going to fix this, you better get right down to the damn tactic that fixes it. And you better understand how. This new landslide, and it was a landslide, Dems sweeping everything. I want you to think about this. You know, they would run out, let's say a Republican, for where they insinuated he was a homo. They run out the Republican. On the Dem side, the president bill can spill on the blue dress under the Resolute desk, and it's no big deal. Our interns can do a little rump rangering in our sacred offices, and it's no big deal. And somebody who wants to run for AG can have text that says, I'm just going to kill my opponent and their family. They should be shot and dead. And that person wins AG. It's not because that's how people voted. It's because those people were selected to execute something in the system. Now, you can believe all the freaking rah, sis, boom, bah crap you want. But I got to tell you this. At some point in time, you have to be totally fed up with losing. I don't think a great Christian leader gets out and tells millions of people, we got it all. We're going to melt the machines to prison bars, and get to court and said, well, we never had it, really. How do you forget that? Well, it's all psychological warfare. So we're going to take a look, and I'm going to do it in the lesson with the state. We're going to look at a singular state. This applies to your state. I'm going to show you how all of this crap is done. And if you still want to focus on the bull crap, I would just want to tell you this. Go get your little commie hat, move to New York, and support the commies. Because when you don't do it the way that works, and frankly, I think Republicans just don't want to win, and Republicans are funded by Democrats. We have a uniparty anyway. But for us, the people, if you want to win, you know, you got to have a winning playbook. It's not notes. When I look at the movement of election integrity, let me just give you a juxtaposition. One side of election integrity is, let's look at every ballot, 2+ million of them. Every single voted oval, 189 million of them. Let's take meticulous care and forensics, and so we can learn exactly how it's done for the first time in history. You hear that? Can you hear that? No, you can't hear that, because that was the silence of the uniparty pundits, pontificators, podcasters, and punani boys of the wrong kind that refused to cover what was real. Now let's juxtapose that to the other side. And our national champion to fix this in our elections is the king of infomercials. Wait a minute. We've got to fix the United States of America. We've got to fix our elections. And we come up with incredible programs like the Election Crime Bureau. Here I am to save the day. Election Crime Bureau. I want you to think about that for a minute. Let's say you're a good person doing elections in your county, and somebody contacts you from the Election Crime Bureau. Is that supposed to strike fear in your heart, or is it just a bad Saturday Night Live dragnet comedy skit? I'm here from the Election Crime Bureau. Do you understand how all of this is designed to make people who just want our election fixed look like cartoon characters? I mean, I really want you to think about that. County recorder gets a notice, hey, we noticed this irregularities, and these compliance things weren't paid attention to. Could you please look into this? Or you're going to get the threatening letter, like Republicans, from the Election Crime Bureau. Which one are you going to take seriously and reply to? But we've done it to ourselves. We've become cartoon freaking characters that cannot be taken seriously because we do not operate seriously. What are we, fucking junior hires? Hell, the Goonies, I could believe that. But did you walk around, hey, we can scare justice in these guys. Let's call this the Election Crime Bureau. Yeah, that'll scare them. They'll think they're being investigated. You'll understand in a minute why I say this. Nothing that was done in election integrity since 2020 made any of us look like true experts. It was all a 5-year nightmare of bad Saturday Night Live skits and things like, we're going to melt them on the prison bars. I want you to think about that just for a moment. Threat, crap, and nothing. So I'm going to give you something. I want you to take notes. I'm going to give it to you in the form of one state. Okay? On Twitter yesterday, I saw Andy's post that said the Oregon Secretary of State has announced his office will not refer any of the dozens and dozens of people, many non-citizens, who voted illegally for criminal investigation. Last year, it was revealed that over 1,800 non-citizens were registered to vote. Some of them did, and there will be no consequences for anyone. Democrats have full control of the state. That's the voter rolls. You know where it is. The Dems prove it. Hey, 81 million votes. Oh, don't look there. Don't look there. And they make it look more legit a year later. You know inherently the machines didn't keep running for a year. But I watched as New York fell, as Virginia fell, and oh my, the machines, oh, the machines. You know what it is when you go into a precinct and none of the machines worked? Is that a crime? Put it in chat. You walk into your precinct and you find every voting machine is electronically down and won't work. Is that a crime? Put it in chat. Be honest. Is that a crime? No, and I'll add fuck no. It's not a crime. Hey, let's say you walk in to a precinct to vote and they don't have any ballots and it's a Republican precinct. Is that a crime? No. Let's say you walk into the precinct, they have no ballots, the machines have been set on fire by Antifa, and they have no power. Is that a crime? No, none of those are crimes. You're going to learn the sad reality of this as I walk through Oregon. So Andy said, look, last year was over 1,800 non-citizens who registered to vote. And then he posted a video of the Secretary of State. And we're not talking about should be's. You know what? Quit shoulding on yourself. It's just the truth. Why don't you start dealing with, holy crap, I didn't know the law and how it works. We've got to do that. Quit shoulding over yourself. It should a lot of things. We shouldn't have had election integrity become a bad Saturday Night Live skit. But it did. So he posted a video, which I'm going to show you, of the Secretary of State. I call him Mr. Happy Ass. You can call him whatever you want. Oh my God, where'd he go? Hang on. That slimy little lib somehow slipped out of my queue. Okay. I'm going to show you his announcement on this election day. I want you to pay attention very closely to the words. Words matter. I did not have sex with that woman. Sexual relation. No, you didn't. You just got your wanker sucked. Well, that's not sex. Sex is when you put the pee-pee into the JJ, and I didn't do that. That's sex. What's the definition of is? Here you go.
It's Election Day, Oregon. Tobias Reed here, your Oregon Secretary of State. It's a big day today. More than 1 million Oregonians are making their voices heard on the things that shape our daily lives. I voted on funding for libraries and public safety. And all across Oregon, people are making...
To the exciting things he voted for. Feel good, feel good, feel good, feel good, feel good, feel good. Furry, 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 warm, warm, fuzzy slippers.
It's Election Day, Oregon. Tobias Reed here, your Oregon Secretary of State. It's a big day today. More than 1 million Oregonians are making their voices heard on the things that shape our daily lives. I voted on funding for libraries and public safety. And all across Oregon, people are making decisions about schools, parks, wildfire prevention, and more. So have you voted yet? If not, here's what you need to know. Your ballot has to be in a drop box or postmarked by 8 p.m. tonight. The easiest move? Use an official drop box. They're quick, they're secure, and they're close by. You can find where they are at OregonVotes.gov. If you still want to use the mail, go straight to the post office and ask for a manual postmark to be sure it counts. But whatever you do, don't forget to sign your envelope. In Oregon, we've made it simple and safe to vote from home because your voices matter and your votes should decide our future. So no excuses. Your community's counting on you and Oregon is counting on you. Get that ballot in by 8 p.m. tonight.
In Oregon, we're going to take and consolidate those Oregonians and put that great big Oregon right in you and take over the state. Did you notice all the words in there? Okay, now get ready. I'm going to make you cry. I'm going to piss you off. But remember, truth is a good thing. And I'll give you an example. We may have found out, and I used this the other day, we may have found out that Tylenol actually contributes to autism. Do you go, no, not my Tylenol. Oh, not my Tylenol. Or do you go, wow, I never knew that. They ain't using Tylenol anymore if I'm having babies. See, the truth is what sets you free. But people are afraid of the truth and they get hurt by the truth. And since that's the case, I'm going to hurt the shit out of you right now. So pay attention. So I replied to Andy from his thing here. We'll see. And I said, here is how you fix this. Now, if you are in Oregon, I'm about to drop a big ass bomb on you. I'm going to hand you on a silver platter the way you take the amalgam of Oregonians and you turn it into one big Oregon and you give it to the system. You may be offended I'm not wearing a cross or invoke Jesus to do it. I'm just going to tell you the law. Get ready. Now, in Oregon, here's what you need to know. Here is who can register to vote. Read it with me, provided you can read. You must meet all of the following. You must be a U.S. citizen. You must be a resident of Oregon. You must be 16 years old to register. You must be 18 years on or before the day of election to vote. Now, those are the laws. But do you see the crack in the crack state? What's the crack in the crack state? Take a look at that. Put it in chat. What is the crack in the crack state? Do you spot it? Because I've told you it's always about words. It's always about words. Tell me in chat, what is wrong with that statement? Do you know? Yes, I know it's the Beaver state, but I do not want to offend Beaver. I absolutely adore Beaver. I can't get enough beaver. I mean, just kind of eat it all up. Beaver is like fantastic, right? What a great animal. What do you tell me? What do you tell? What does this tell you when you look at this? It tells you, hey, 16-year-olds, you can register to vote. Did you know they can't ask a voter's age? Let me say that again. You can register at 16. You can't legally vote till you're 18, but they're forbidden to ask your age when you vote. See, it's the machine. We can't see it. It takes a math 6-degree polynomial dactyl and only I, the incredible professor of math with advanced degrees from DARPA and NASA, and I've been nominated for a Nobel Peace Prize. Only I can see it and show you, because you can't see it. You're a dumbass if you can't see it. Oh, also, hey, no, you don't present an ID either. Do any 16-year-old today look like 16-year-olds when you were 16 years old? So you see even this. Do you see this? This is how it's done. And they didn't run a machine to do it. They did it right before your damn eyes. Many states do this. See, Oregon and Washington State are part of the leaders that perfect these things. Why do you think Washington State was the first one to go all mail-in ballot? They perfect it. They conquer. They control, and then they roll it out. And so you can see here, you got to be a citizen. You got to be a citizen. You got to be a U.S. citizen. You got to be a U.S. citizen. You have to be a resident of Oregon. But see, right here, if you pay attention, you can see 2 years you can be registered. You're not going to go looking for your vote because technically you're supposed to vote at 18, but they're damn sure going to be using them. And where does that vote live? Where does that vote live? On the voter rolls. So now the first thing we've established in Oregon, because this is Oregon law, you got to be a citizen, you got to be a resident. Here's the second thing you should know. Who cannot register and who cannot vote? That's two things. Who cannot register, who cannot vote. It's not one thing, it's two things. So who cannot register? Well, you can't register if you're not a U.S. citizen. It requires U.S. citizenship. You cannot register if you don't have an established Oregon residence. You can't register if you're under 16 and if you're incarcerated for a felony. Certain restrictions may apply. You can't vote if you're not a U.S. citizen. That's a state law, federal law. You can't vote there if you're not really an established resident of Oregon. How about this little ditty? Ready? Specific details about non-citizens. Because of the eligibility rules explicitly require U.S. citizenship, a person who is not a U.S. citizen, for example, undocumented fruit picker, does not meet that key requirement. Therefore, such a person is not eligible to register to vote in Oregon under the state laws. Now, what I just did, if you paid attention, right? I didn't break to give you your pillow code. I just gave you the laws. These are the exact laws. Now I'm going to show you the rig, and I'm going to show you how when every one of you keep on saying, it was fraud, we saw the fraud, they switched votes, that's fraud, how you got conned, crapped in your head, and you personally helped fuck every single election integrity lawsuit. Well, see, they trained multi-generations in this 5-year con to say fraud, 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 crime, 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 election crime bureau. Here we go to save the day, right? They trained you, and you gobbled it up like guinea pigs. So let's look at Oregon a little deeper. Let's look right down in that Cyclops and see what it says about these laws. Get ready. Here you go. You're not going to like it, but it's the truth. Oregon law does make it, okay? It does make it. It's illegal. It's just illegal. It's a crime. C-R-I-M-E. Say it along with me. Oregon law does make it a crime for a non-citizen to vote. Under ORS 260.715, it is a felony to vote when you know you are not qualified. Now, why am I doing this? Because the Secretary of State has said, when shown this, we're not going to pursue charges. Now, here's how this rig works. Get ready, listen. Under Oregon statute 260.715, it is a felony to vote when you know you are not qualified or when you knowingly register when you know you are not able. Maximum penalties include fines and possible jail time. Read that again to yourself out loud. Trust me, if you read this out loud, it makes a big difference. Just read it again to yourself out loud. Is that okay? Basically, okay, it basically says when you knowingly, okay, do such, that you can't register and you can't vote. I mean, this is a big deal. It's black and white law, okay? It's black and white law. You get me? It's black and white law. You can read it. You can see it. You can understand it. But what is, okay, and I'm going to give you much deeper statutes. Trust me, trust me, trust me, trust me. I don't ever assume that anybody knows any of this. I don't assume it. And the reason I do not assume it, okay, is because you have to literally start step by step to get people to stick it in their cranium and keep it. The key word in all of this is knowingly. That's the key word, knowingly. Now, I've always told you it comes down to words. So let's look a little bit deeper in the statutes and see what it says. Here you go. Now, see, in Oregon, they have DMV motor voter. Who's the guy that started screaming years ago about motor voter? That's the rig. It's not the machines, it's the voter rolls, because they need a name to go with the piece of paper. They don't need the machines to run to do it. So I want you to read this with me, okay? Here's the deal. It comes under a category called DMV voter automatic registration areas. I taught you this is the boo-boo effect. Oh my God. We're so sorry. That was just a boo-boo. Okay. Oregon's motor voter law. Pay attention. Oregon's motor voter law automatically registers people, that means anyone, people, when they get a license or ID. If the DMV miscoded someone, oh my God, I made a boo-boo. They weren't supposed to be code 68. They were supposed to be code 69. Oh no, and that's why it was supposed to be code 70. Because you get 8 more. Okay, you get it? If the DMV miscoded someone or the person misunderstood the paperwork, they may actually get a voter registration card even though they're not eligible. Let me explain this to you. Did you know there's not really a code that says this person's here illegally? So what code are they talking about? But, oh no, Ethel, you know she's cross-eyed and drinks a little too much coffee. She miscoded it. But there's not actually a code that identifies the person as illegal. Do you know why they don't do that? Because then you could pop the DMD database. You would find every illegal that got issued an ID, and then you could check the voter roll, see if they voted, and you can clean it up. There's not actually a code. And so they do this latter part is or the person misunderstood the paperwork. Who's the person? The person going to get an ID. Well, here's how the paperwork works. Here it is. You're going to sign the little thing, and it's got a little bitty box in that little bitty screen that says, if you are not a U.S. citizen, click here. Let's see. I broke into this country, paid coyotes to get here. ICE detained me. They gave me a social security number because I promised to pay taxes, but they said, you got to go to court and we're probably going to redeport you. So now you get to your destination and go, oh, do I, if they even read it, do you click that little box that says, oh, I'm illegal? When you know you have a court date you're not going to go to? Do you click that box? What do you think? Would you click it? You smuggled yourself into the country. You know you're here illegally. You know it's a crime. You know you're in trouble. You already got paperwork that says you promise to show up in 5 years if you get a summons. Do you click the box? No, you don't click the box. And even if it's in their language, which they do, most of them can't read. Do they even read it? You know, they come in, here somebody comes from fucking Syria, is illegal, gives his name. What's your name? Mahatma Colt. Say that again. Mahatma Colt. What do you do here in the United States? I'm a designer. I'm a clothes designer. Mahatma Colt. Are you illegal? Well, they don't ask that. Oh, by the way, it is illegal for DMV person to ask that question. So what they do is they leave it to a little bitty tiny box. And therefore, Mahatma Colt, the clothes designer that came from Syria and wants to find his fortune in America, they're not going to check the damn box. Keep on reading this. Ready? If the DMV miscoded someone or the person misunderstood the paperwork, they may get a voter registration card, even though they're not eligible. It was a boo-boo. This is treated as administrative error, not fraud. Now, do you understand why you don't scream fraud like the pillow that suffocated elections taught you? They taught you to say the word fraud, because then the states get an excuse because the state doesn't consider it fraud. It's written in the laws. Fraud. I saw it on TV. It looked like an F. It's all been training. Let's keep on going. And then says, immigrants who mistakenly believe they can vote. This is the category. Now, they've gone from boo-boo. They've gone from boo-boo to, well, I know we have incompetent people because math is racist and we don't even require people to read. But if the illegal mistakenly does it, here's what it is. Ready? Some legal permanent residents. Isn't that an interesting term? When they get handed that piece of paper, right? Here's what happens. They go to a judge. They say, we're going to appear in court. And, okay, I came in, you caught me. I pledged to show up at court because I want to come here to be a legal permanent resident. And so they say, okay, you can consider yourself a legal permanent resident, but the court may decide differently. And please understand, you might get deported. There are certain words to read, kind of like your Miranda rights. Immigrants, see, they don't say undocumented. They do it in other places, right? Non-citizens. Immigrants who mistakenly believe they can vote. Some legal permanent residents mistakenly think they can vote in state elections. Here's the kicker. Get ready. Courts require proof of intentional fraud to prosecute a felony. If intent cannot be proven, the district attorney won't file charges. If intent cannot be proven, the district attorney won't file charges. I've always told you, they told you everything. But damn it, when you get your election news from a freaking lumberjack or a kid that recently, before talking about elections, worked at fucking Taco Bell, you're screwing yourself. You have no standards. I'm showing you the law. But do you see how the words are worked in here? Well, if they mistakenly believe they can vote, if they just make an honest mistake, it is just an honest mistake. I saw those Nikes. I saw that brick outside. I thought the brick wanted to be inside with the Nikes. So I threw the brick through the glass into the Nikes. And then I realized I made a mistake and the fucking Nikes didn't want to be with the brick. So I took the Nikes out so they wouldn't be offended. It was a mistake. I'm sorry. Who else got off on, oh, I didn't know I couldn't do that. Hillary, emails. Well, I didn't know I couldn't have my own server. Hell, if I'd have known that, I'd have never done it. It was an accident. See how that word intent plays in? Do you understand why they say if intent cannot be proven, district attorneys won't file charges? So what are all these guys, politicians or otherwise, told to say? I didn't know that. Oh, it's an administrative area. No habla español. No habla English. Sorry. It's not my job. It's not my job to say if I'm illegal or not. I thought they knew I had a social security. They said get an ID. It's not my job. It's their job. Do you get it? Now, I've shown you this. You're probably going to ignore it because you've been told I'm a bad guy. You ever seen anybody else show you these things? Now, let me tell you how you do this. Write this down. Not woke says, I forgot how funny this guy is. Fucking quit commenting on my crooked nose and how I look. I can't help. God gave me this face. Okay, write this down. It is your job. Get a pen and paper. I'm going to tell you how to take just like Oregon, all these tons of Oregonians, push them into one massive organ and shove it up the system. You ready? I do have a kissable face. Thank you. I just wonder why you changed it to kissable. It used to be sittable. But anyway, I digress. I got to focus. I am a little lost because we are talking about the Beaver State, but that's okay. Write this down. I gave you all the words. I gave you how they skirt the system. I gave you how for 5 years the system trained you that everything was fraud. When you were listening, we caught all the fraud. We got all the fraud. That's fraud. They changed it. Fraud, fraud, fraud. When you got that word pumped into your brain, your cranium, crapped into your brain, it was designed. It was designed, okay, to make every single claim fail. By the way, all the way down to your affidavits. My name is John Smith. I was at election precinct 342. I saw a person swap the paper. I didn't realize it, but oh my God, I witnessed fraud because he changed the paper and he wasn't supposed to change the paper. Signed John Smith, sort of like dismissed. Dismissed. It's in black and white. Only the prosecutor, in their case, can determine it's fraud. You determine it's fraud post-adjudication. You go through the system, and only the system can say it's fraud. Okay, so let's take this out. Remember the little weasel I showed you earlier? I voted for our new butterfly garden. I voted for a library to have books on how to do self-addictomies for little girls who want to be boys. And I think everybody should have equal access to home-based surgical procedures. You saw what he's interested in, right? Now, I showed you it's a crime. They cannot register to vote. They cannot vote. Now, let me ask you a question. And this is why this system puts into your also vocabulary outside of fraud. They put into your system one simple word: voter fraud. Voter fraud. Well, let me ask you a question. If a ballot got assigned to an illegal, came through the mail, and it got voted, did the illegal create voter fraud? Well, actually, no, because they're just going to say an excuse. But who really did it? See, the issue we have in the United States of America is not voter fraud. In fact, voter fraud is encouraged. You want me to tell you why? I'll use it. Remember Mr. Numchuck, Brnovich in Arizona, AG? Do videos as AG doing nunchucks like he's some kung fu master going to show you how fucking tough he is. You ever wonder how somebody gets a mail-in ballot? They open the ballot, put it back in the return envelope. The return envelope comes back in. They open it to go into the system. The ballot goes this way and the envelope goes this way, immediately to the trash. And we have secret elections. So you can never tell who really voted that ballot. Most people don't know that. But let me just put this to you. Almost in every election for years, somebody like Arizona, they will find one person. It's always one. They will find one person who voted mama's ballot illegally. Now, let me ask you a question. This is a mail-in state. A return envelope with a ballot came in it. It got opened. The ballot went this way. The envelope went to the trash. You can never put them back together. Can I just ask you a question? How'd they know? How'd they know? Did that person go, oh, damn it, I voted my mama's ballot, my dead daddy's ballot, and my ballot, I'm so sorry? Is that what happened? Was it that rat bastard neighbor that everybody seems to have squealed on Marta because she voted dead mama's ballot? So let me ask you a question. How'd they know? It's a sham. Let me tell you why. What I believe is they get somebody to do it so they can actually have a prosecution. They never really prosecute the person. They pay them a ton of money. Here it is. You got a fucking record anyway. Just do this. We're going to pay you some money. 10 grand, fucking go away. We're not going to do anything to you anyway. So how do they know? So what I believe they do is they have one agreeable patsy who they pay a good amount of money to. Now, why do they need that one? Because in Maricopa County, there's 2,500,000 some odd number of registered voters. But somehow they always seem to find one. Now, see, they need that one. Why do they need that one? Look at us. We're doing our job. We caught a person committing voter fraud. But when you look at it, it was only one person in 2.5 million people. So voter fraud is very rare. You get how the con works? It makes you think they're doing their job, but nobody linearly thinks through how they accomplish it. And then the Election Crime Bureau, we're going to teach you how to fight voter fraud. I'm with the Election Crime Bureau. I'm here to save the day. Are you kidding me? Why don't you teach people about a thing called election fraud? Now, let me tell you what election fraud is. I've already told you get screwed when you use the word fraud. And I've always told you, if you focus on voter fraud, you've already had shit packed in your brain, man. You got milk dud coming out your ears. They need you to talk about voter fraud. The reason they need you to talk about voter fraud is because there's no enforcement. So what's really happening is what's called election fraud. Subtle difference, always one word difference. Now, what does the one word difference mean? That it has nothing to do with the voter and has everything to do with the system. See, they don't want you to look at the system. They want you to look at the machines. They do not want you to look at the system. See, and the con they don't tell you about the machines. Well, we have the Election Assistance Commission. We have the Help America Vote Act. They have no enforcement. But if you look at the machines and you read, most people don't, you actually find out it's all voluntary. There's no enforcement. It's all voluntary rules. And here's what they get to say. Well, geez, I didn't know. It wasn't my intent. It said it was voluntary, so we just didn't use that program. It's voluntary, isn't it? I didn't know. I made a boo-boo. Now, I'm going to give you the path to cleaning this up. Here's what I can guarantee you. All the people that get paid to travel America and play like they're heroes saving elections never tell you this. Because that's not their job. All the people that travel America don't tell you to stop saying voter fraud. In fact, they tell you, look at this fraud, look at this fraud, look at my charter fraud, look at my charter fraud here, look at my math fraud, look at the 6,000 degree polynomial tactodactyl ferrodactyl in this incredible equation that's 128 characters long. See the fraud? They don't tell you this because that's not their job or goal. Number one, if an illegal vote came into the system, how do you discover it? How do you fight it? Well, you go back to this fellow in Oregon. If you're in Oregon, you can do this right damn now. And you don't have to contribute to somebody's narcissistic defense fund. It's your right. Here's the deal. If in fact you know, feel, or have something went wrong with the election, it falls under a very simple word called maladministration. So you walk into the county recorders or your county election officials and you say, here's what you don't say. Damn it, I'm here to pick up these voting machines and melt them to prison bars, you fucking criminal fraud-ass sucksters. You don't do that crap. I can't tell you how many emails I've seen from people talking to it. You committed fraud, and I'm going to make sure you hang and go to jail. Do you think anybody's going to pay attention to you, good or bad people? Bad people are going to laugh at you because they've been fucking watching The Pillow Man. So basically, you send a letter. You can do it right now because it only happened the day before yesterday. You can send a letter to your elected officials that run it and say, I suspect the election was non-compliant, meaning that the rules regarding the management of an election, the execution of the election, were maladministered. You know what happens when you use that one word? When you send that letter to them and say, I believe, don't use fraud, don't include a pillow code, certainly don't send a picture of yourself wearing a bow tie. It's a dead giveaway. You don't want it fixed. You're going to send them a letter and you're going to say, here I am, here's where I live, I'm a citizen, I voted, but I think my vote possibly didn't count or my vote got counterbalanced because the election was maladministered. And here's what I suspect happened. It's maladministration, and you got to put your remedy. You can't just be a bitch or a moaner. You got to put your, what do you want? You got to have, I got to get something back. And you put in that letter, I am in need of verification that the election was properly administered and ran in accordance with the law and in accordance with all compliance procedures. And you send off that letter. Now what you did is you put them on notice for maladministration. They're not going to respond. They're going to go, hey, we got 30 days to respond, and they're probably going to watch The Pillow Guy 20 times. Oh, fuck, they'll forget it. Well, when they forget it, which is a gift, because they're going to, you get to send the second letter and said, I put you on notice this date. You have not responded in 30 days. I told you that I believe the election was maladministered, and you have failed to investigate it and give evidence that it was compliant. See, in that one word, maladministration, the responsibility is on them. When you say fraud, the responsibility is on you. Simple twist, right? But that's how it works. Every suit Democrats have won against Republicans have been based on maladministration. That should tell you something. If they continue to not respond, you have all kinds of legal recourse, all the way down to removing them from office. You have the power to get them to remove from office. But let's just say they respond, and you got to ask for a remedy. And in that remedy, I need verification that you have complied or whatever. Now, in the jumbo mumbo, we're going to now go best case. In the jumbo mumbo, they're going to say, here's what we investigated. Here's what it is. This is how we prove it was administered correctly. In the best of worlds, you get the right to inspect. You get the right to inspect. Now, once you get the right to inspect, which is why, folks, the reason we got the Arizona audit to look at everything, first time in history it ever happened that big, is it was based on maladministration. You didn't follow the rules. You didn't go to court. I saw on TV the numbers changed. It was, how stupid is that? Let me just ask you a question. You actually think because you watch TV and you saw a number change that you can sue because the number changed on TV, something that happened in an election center that they have nothing to do with the TV. TV has nothing to do with them. And you fucking think you can sue? How does that work? Well, I read it on the internet, and I'm a French model. Anyway, under maladministration rules, you have the right to inspect. Now, I'm going to jump over a bunch of stuff about how you inspect, because some people will just totally lead you wrong on inspect. When you get into looking at it and you find maladministration, it actually wasn't run by the rules. Something very interesting happens. If you find 2, 3, 4, or more, maladministration becomes malfeasance. Now, under malfeasance, it means, holy shit, you are doing something wrong, and this is a pattern. Under malfeasance, you have a tremendous amount of power. A tremendous amount of power. During your malfeasance investigation, let's say you found out, well, shit, why this happened is because the county did this, the state did this, the DMV did this, the electors did this or didn't do this, the system didn't do this or do this. Now what you have is all kinds of intra-agencies. And when intra-agencies are involved, it moves to the level of RICO. Now, let me tell you all of this in a totally different way that you might understand the legal technicalities. Illegals voted in the Oregon election, or possibly your election. Did they commit a crime? Well, the system says they didn't mean to. Let me ask you a question. Now, here's a series of questions. Self-evident, will answer for yourself. You're an illegal. You come across the border. You're given a social security number. They tell you you must go down to DMV and register or get your driver's license. You comply. Why? Because you want to stay. You go to DMV, you take the test, not in English, in whatever your 8,000 languages are. You don't know anything about that box. You're just happy to get your driver's license. And then one day, a voter registration shows up in your mailbox. Let me ask you a question. If the state sent you a voter registration card, are you going to think you can vote? Put it in chat. If the state sent you a voter registration card, are you, as an illegal, going to assume you can vote? Fucking A, you're going to assume you can vote. But is that how it really works? No. See, in order for that cycle to work that way, and this is where people don't look at the facts, and they didn't learn forensic auditing at Taco Bell, but now they're a political commentator. The illegal comes across the border. They're handed a social security card because they promise to pay taxes when they work in America. They do what they're told. They go get. If you want to stay here, of course they want to stay here. If you want to stay here, you're going to go get an ID or at least a driver's license, at least an ID. Are you going to comply? Fuck yeah, you're going to comply. And you're going to do it right away. Do you have an address? Just asking a question. When you broke across the border, did you prearrange your address? Do you already have a domicile? No. So here's how it really works. All these illegals come across the border. And at the border are registered agents of deception. And they gather up all of these illegals. We're going to help you because we care about you. I care about you. Don't you care about you? You know, here's what you're going to need to do. You know that little Social Security they took? Just go get your driver's license. We'll take you there. Here's the address you use. Because these people don't have an address. Now, that address ends up being what's called an NGO, a non-governmental organization. Okay? A non-governmental organization or a nonprofit or a church, La Raza, you name it. They'll give the illegal an address. I have seen this so egregiously misused that one address will have over 30,000 people listed at it. One address. And you thought the fucking Indian people were bad with 9 people in an apartment? This fucking house has got 30,000 people in it. One address, could be a mosque, whatever, will have over 30,000 people at the one address. The voter registration card goes there. Does the illegal get it? Rehab center, homeless shelters are the big rig. They have them all over homeless shelters. Nobody checks the addresses. Maricopa County, like 2,000 people at a homeless shelter. Maricopa County, the postman is not supposed to forward a ballot. Pay attention. The post person is not supposed to forward the ballot. It's got to be a legal residence. The post person, when you look at one of the addresses, and there's over 2,000 people at one of these, it's a vacant lot. A vacant lot. Maybe it's where the homeless shit under the tree, but it ain't a house. There's not even a mailbox. So where do those ballots go? Well, the post person will take those ballots and they go like 6 blocks away and they pass them over to an NGO. We help the homeless. That's how this is done. Let's go back to the one place with 30,000 people. Well, see, those ballots never get returned. Post people never report. I got thousands of fucking ballots going to their house. It's shut up, keep your pension. That place that gets those 30,000 ballots is never, ever able to cough up those ballots if somebody went back to retreat them. And yes, the post office knows how this is done. I have talked to postmasters that know this is how it's done, that have been with the post office decades, but they say, if you ever talk about it, you're going to lose your pension. You're gone. They're going to protect their pension. So what happens to these 30,000 ballots? They get picked up. They get picked up. And they get voted. Now, the first scenario, let's talk if an illegal voted. Now, if an illegal did in fact get a voter registration card, and because they were put on the motor voter registration list, now they're on the voter rolls, and a ballot shows up. You got a voter registration card that says, bring this when you vote. And they get a ballot that says, you don't have to come in, just send this. Do you actually think you might assume you can vote? Yes or no? Do you think you might assume you can vote? Of course you do. But did you intend to vote illegally? No, I didn't intend to. I didn't know it. It was a boo-boo. So you see how they let people off? I didn't know I couldn't. I was mistakenly thinking I could vote. And the judge goes, well, Pablo, why'd you think you could vote? Sorry. Hey, Mambuka Amdala Alfavla Mamamad, why'd you think you could vote? Well, I got a voter registration card. I got an ID. I got a social security thing. I got a ballot, and all these people told me I could vote. I'm sorry. You see how the rig works? Now, if you wipe all of that away, what's really left standing? Well, what's left standing is racketeering, and here's why. They created the hole in motor voter to enable this infiltration of our voting system. Who did that? Lawmakers, When somebody went down to the DMV to get their license, did the person at the DMV say, are you a citizen? No, they can't say that. They can't ask that. It's a boo-boo. It's offensive. But you see, the DMV person actually complied. They are enabling this. Okay? When the post person goes and drops off thousands of ballots, they see it, to that nonprofit, and they know that many people doesn't live there, but they don't report it. They get threatened with their pension if they don't report it. Were they actually compliant in this? Yes. Now we'll go back to the Secretary of State, so they're not going to do anything about it. Did the Secretary of State follow the rule of law that the voter must be a U.S. citizen and a resident of Oregon? Keyword, must be a U.S. citizen. No, the Secretary of State did not follow the law. Did the Secretary of State find an illegal on the voter rolls when it was pointed out? And if you're not a U.S. citizen, you cannot register to vote. Did the Secretary of State do anything about it? No. When the person at the voting centers, which is supposed to check ID and verify the person's a citizen, did that person actually check for that? No, they're not allowed to ask. But they're also compliant. Did the ballot printing company print a ballot for an illegal? The answer is yes. They are compliant. Did the persons running the election actually took a ballot in and allowed it to count as a vote, but it was for an illegal? They're also breaking the law. But do you realize how many agencies I just announced? See, this is why it's maladministration. Because, see, it's not whether the illegal intended. I didn't intend it. I didn't know it. See, it's smoke and mirrors. It's, did you create a system that actually creates legal offenses by default? That's on the lawmakers. Did you pass a law that actually was an inefficient, ineffective law that actually turned people into criminals? And the answer is yes. So see, don't go bitching about voter fraud. Put it right back on the election officials. This is maladministration. You have illegals that their vote counted. It's illegal for an illegal to be registered to vote. Who did it? Well, the state did it. The illegal didn't do it. The state did it. It is illegal to print a ballot. First off, it's illegal to register an illegal to vote. But who actually did it? DMV. It is illegal to then allow that person to vote. That's illegal. It is illegal to print a ballot for the illegal. That's a crime. And it's illegal to count the ballot for an illegal. All of those are systems that actually have nothing to do with the illegal, but the system pushes it to the illegal. And that is why this is maladministration. But when you find occurrences like 1,800 times, do you think that's kind of a widespread boo-boo? When they do laws that say you can't ask if they're legal, are they facilitating a crime? Yes, they're paving the way for a crime. But they're actually pushing the criminal act so they can blame it on the illegal, not them. But who actually orchestrated the crime? The system. And this is why it's racketeering. But this is why they want to keep you on voter fraud. This is why they want to keep you down there. This is why they want to blame it on the illegal. It is not the illegal who does it. It's not. So when America and citizens finally grow the balls to play the game as the game was designed to play, you start holding people accountable. When you find out that 30,000 mail-in ballots went to this address, where's the first place you go? Under maladministration, it's the post office, not even the elected officials. It's the post office. And in the post office, you get some interesting things. Who's the mail carrier on that route? You get to depose the mail carriers. Did you notice a ton of mail-in ballots going to this one address? You're going to get a yes. Did you report it? No, we were told we didn't need to. There's the first intent. The first intent is letting everybody share the address. That's intent number one. The second intent was, well, we were told not to talk about it. That's the second intent. Who told you? You get a name. You will get names the whole way. When you get to that fucking house where they got 30,000 ballots, what'd you do with the ballots? You're actually going to get names. Let's say it's Billy Joe Bob. Well, Billy Joe Bob, he threw them away. Well, you get to interview Billy Joe Bob. Did you throw away just an ungodly amount of mail-in ballots? You're either going to get a yes or no. No, I didn't. You're going to get a yes. When did you throw them away? What was the day you threw them away? Where did you deposit them? Just like you investigate a crime scene. How do you think they find all the shit in the trash? Or they look at all the different cameras around to show you in transit, and here's this poor motherfucker, right, with 30,000 ballots. By the way, let me make sure. I got to do some math real quick. 30,000 You ready for this? I'm going to blow your mind with a number. And this is where people don't investigate. Hold on one second. Hold on one second. Remember 7.1 ounce if I have to ask. Is that okay? Just remember that for a moment. I'll probably forget it in between because I'm going to give you the numbers. Okay. We got 30,000 times 7.1 ounce. Thank you. How many ounces in a pound? Is it 16? How many ounces are in a pound? Somebody put it in chat. Hang on. I haven't done this figure in a while. $16. Okay, so here we go. Write this down. 213,000. Okay. Now divide 213,000 by 16. Okay. The new number is 13,312. You got that number in your head? 13,312. Okay. Now here's the magic number. You ready? Take 13,312 and divide it by 32. We're not talking grams. That confuses people. We're talking ounces. So take that number and you divide it by 32. Now, what do you get? You get 416. Now, why is that an important number? Do you know why? This is why forensics matter. We're going to call it 416. But I gave you 32 to get there. Why did I do that? Because the mail carriers cannot carry anything over 32 pounds in one trip. What? Postal rules are you can't carry anything over 32 pounds in one trip? So how many fucking trips did it take the post person? 416 trips minimum. If Billy Joe Bob did take out the trash, and that trash bag's not going to hold 32 pounds, how many fucking bags did he carry out there to dump? You understand how you triangulate this? It's physics, it's math, it's intel. That means to that one home, that postal person would have made at minimum, if they were coming all in, and by the way, they almost all arrive on the same day. Do you think the postal person realized something was up when he made 416 fucking trips to this one house and it was all ballots? You see how they can't hide it? But it's the machines, and it's a polynomial olfactory pterodactyl to the 6th degree. You can't see it, but I'm smart, and I told you it was. You must believe me. Look into my cross. Look into my cross. Focus, it's the machines. The physics of the crime are big. Why do you say I said I don't give a fuck about the machines? The physics of the crime are big. Now, when you talk to that fucking house, look, folks, right? This was how many tons? How many tons was it? 30 tons of mail, or whatever the fuck it was. 3 tons. Doesn't even matter. That's 3 2,000-pound units. You're telling me you don't know what happened to 3 fucking tons of ballots that came to you? 1 fucking ton or 416 fucking trips of ballots, and you at this little NGO, you don't know where the fuck they are? You see how it starts to unfold? In the mail system, you have all the tracking information you need, because the mail sorter actually puts it all in order. They put it in a tub, that tub, those are the little mail sorters, and it's given to the mail carrier in perfect stacks where they just pull the first one. You think they look through it to find your address? No, they follow an exact route. It's all timed out. And all of that mail going out is coded that way. You see how you look at that? You see why the system wouldn't let us look at the U.S. Post Office mail telemetry? Oh, shit. You know what? If Congress, who pays for the mailing of ballots? Your state reps in Congress. They split it equally by party. They pay the fee. Guess what? If they paid a fee for this particular 1 ton of mail of 416 trips, but you can't show the ballots ever got anywhere, did you know that's a crime? It's misappropriation of funds. You know what nobody looked at in Maricopa except us? But remember, I'm a grifter, so don't fucking pay attention to me. I don't know shit. Plus, no, don't tell anybody, I'm a Jew. That proves it. Maricopa County, with supposedly 2.5 million voters, they mailed a ballot. Why did the fucking printer print 4,089,000 ballots just for Maricopa? Oh, the county paid for them. That's a crime, misappropriation of funds. You know why they wouldn't give us the post records? Because they didn't mail them all. And if they did, it's a crime and they got to hide it. Do you get it? Look into my cross. It's the machines. John 3:16. It's the machines. Yes, John 3:16. For he so loved the world. Get it? Well, if he fucking loved the world, do something about it, just like he did. Kind of moronic, isn't it? He'll tell everybody he loved the world so much he gave his life. You love so much the world, you won't do fuck. Isn't the whole goal to be godlike? I haven't even got into all of it yet. See, even if those ballots were there, they come back in the system with the same tracking. Unless somebody handed over 30,000 mail packets. Remember the Maricopa fiasco? How did Maricopa get off the hook for this? An expert on the stand saying, well, there were all these ballots outside in the box. Where'd those ballots go? And the Maricopa recorder said, no, there weren't. We saw you pick up ballots. No, you didn't. We don't do that. Well, you know why he was legally correct? Because it's not a fucking ballot. It's a mailing packet. It's a return packet. They don't know if the ballot's in there or not. So all they did was pick up return packets. The first one went out was called a ballot packet. See how words matter? All of this has tracking. It has accountability all the way up line if you're there to get an answer that the printer has to answer to, that the post office has to answer to, that you already have a direct line to your House and Senate because they paid the bill for postage. They have to account for it. They have to prove it was properly administered and they did not misappropriate funds. This is why words matter. But what are you told? Look into my cross. I used to teach a law class on how to set up a business at a very small university. And I ran for a politician once. But you can just call me the professor and I know what I'm talking about. It's the machines. And you better fucking look at the machines. Let my people go. It's the machines. Now, when you see all these parts this way, what do you suddenly figure out? It's all an orchestrated intra-agency plan. What is that? Racketeering. But what the fuck do you get taught? But that house got a letter from the Election Crime Bureau. What do you get taught? Do you get taught by your local precincts? Do you get taught this shit? No. You get told where to look because this is where it is. It's the machines, and that's where you fucking look. Yes, I'm pissed. Of course I'm pissed. And I cuss. But let me tell you what, if you're too fucking bit of a pussy to hear me talk about the destruction of our fucking country and not get mad about it to where you cuss, fucking go get your commie uniform and move to New York City. I've only been saying this for 5 years. And here, New York City gets stolen. Virginia gets stolen. See, I told you it was the machines. It was machines, but act now. You get 30% off. Machines did it. Code, promo code now. Are you fucking kidding me? Now, let me ask you a question. If you go right to the ballot printer and you found out they overprinted and were just told to send them because somebody told to send them, are they going to go to jail for the county fuck-ups that did this? Fuck no, they're not going to go to jail. They're going to spill the fucking beans. Can you see how this can be hidden in a way that people don't know? You can pull off the crime and people don't know. Can you see how somebody can get sucked in? Well, we have to care for the illegals. All these poor men are coming here because they need their needs met, and they've done fucked every little girl and goat and boy in the country, and they need new stock. And that's just suppressive. So we got to bring them here. We got to teach kids to go bah! And walk down the street, to be nice, because they have needs that need to be met. You see how people can get sucked into this feelings game? We're just helping the illegals. Oh my God, they're going to need a driver's license to work, and I want them to work, and they don't have an address, so I got to give them an address. It's a con, folks, from top to bottom. But they have a solution. I heard it the other day. I probably shouldn't let this out. But the GOP has fixed this. This is breaking news. I'm telling you right now. Ready? They have decided at every election center and polling place, they're going to put more poll watchers. Now, did I tell you anything that was actually occurring that single day of the vote where the poll watcher will be watching? Did I? Did I tell you anything in all of this of how to solve it? Anything that had to do with that fucking precinct? We're going to put in more poll watchers. Well, how do you know that, Harmeet? Because Cleta Mitchell told me. And they train poll watchers. Now, I shouldn't release this, but they have issued every poll watcher a pair of glasses that electronically tracks every ballot. And when the ballots come in and are separated, all they have to do is look this way and see what the envelopes were. And it, by artificial intelligence, matches the envelope to the ballot, checks the database, and knows that that was an illegal ballot. And they caught it because they watched it and their glasses record. Do you understand just how big this rig is? And it's so painfully obvious. I even feel stupid for saying it because everybody will say I'm just a mean dick. Am I a mean dick? No, I'm a pissed off, overweight, balding, middle fucking aged man that is watching my country being raped and taken over. So yeah, I'm pissed. Yeah, I'm pissed. I'm pissed. I am pissed. They told you it was the machines. Once they got you on the machines, they actually told you, stop voting on the machines. We're going to protest and make them stop using them. You know what the deep state did? They fucking threw a pizza party. Oh, you're not going to come in and vote on the machines? Okay. Do you know why the machines went down in Republicans' precinct in this votes? So the next day you would see, it was the machines. They all went down. See, we saw them go down. It's a fucking con, folks. Not one person in this entire election integrity clown fucking show teaches you the absolute facts of where the crime is and how to prove it. Have any of you heard this anywhere? But when I tell it to you and I give you the true investigative practice with the true laws of how to do it, right? You can see it unless you are allergic to dirt because it's sweeping a dirt floor. And that's just fucking lazy. So yeah, folks, I'm angry. I'm angry about all of this. Sometimes I can hold it in, and sometimes I can't. I fucking see a tweet yesterday by Patrick Colbeck. Here's the report on everything that went wrong and how they stole the election. Download this 19-page book. You download the 19-page book, Election Crime Bureau Bulletin, funded by the Liddell Defense Fund. I thought it was for Mike's defense. Anyway, and you look at the thing, it kind of tells you all the things to look for if you want to do an investigation. Most of it we taught you. Focuses on voter fraud, and that's bullshit. But what did it say about what just happened? There's no fucking proof there. And that's why I go back. Judge, I went to my voting precincts, and all the machines were turned off. That's fraud. Then they asked the guy running the precinct, I'm sorry, Judge, but we fucking blew a breaker. So we told them to go over here. And if they don't want to go over here, I'll give you a paper one. Just put it in and put it in this box right here. Well, whose fault is it? It's lazy fucking Americans' fault. I don't want to have to go over there. I've already stood in a line here. You complied because you didn't know the law. And the law is, as long as you're fucking standing there at the right time, they must get those systems up. But you accept the bullshit. We accept it. We're taught to accept it. We're taught to excuse it. Our elections are broken, and it's kind of like a David Copperfield or any magician show. The magic occurs before the reveal. The girl got in the fucking box and the little bitty sheet thing under the box, cutting her in half and tucked her legs in. She was already stuffed in there that way. When they rolled it out, they'll spend 3 or 4 minutes on a really good setup, play like they saw the chick in half, right? And you think it's fucking magic. Oh my God, look. No, they did it well before. It's an illusion. Our elections are no different. The Democrats did not protest. These machines are rotten. If machines steal elections, if machines actually steal elections, the Democrats, in order to control every fucking election, would make sure we have no machines. But see, that's not what's done. What do the Democrats get pissed about and defend? You can't have an ID. That's racist. You can't not have mail-in ballots. We got a lot of fat fucking people eating nachos and Cheetos and Bell fucking Vita. We gave them free food. And if we get them out and walk, that's kind of like exercise, and that's cruel and unusual punishment. They got to get the fucking ballot at home. You can't even see it. You can't even see the things they fight to protect. Look at my cross. Look at my cross. No, I am telling you the truth. Do what I say. Do what I say. Look at my cross. Yeah, K2 says we've had Bell fucking Vita. Admission. At the heaviest point in my life, when I was very young. And when I say very young, I was a brand new father, and I almost couldn't handle the stress of not making any money and having a child. And I couldn't wait for payday to get $242 every fucking 2 weeks. I was working for shit. You know what my splurge was? I'm going to tell you what because I medicate with food. I medicate with sex. I medicate with food. And hot peppers. Put them all together. Fucking A, we got a party. But anyway, I would go buy a block of Velveeta cheese, a loaf of white bread, and a gallon of milk. Fucking eating that entire block of Velveeta cheese. If I had mayonnaise, Velveeta is good with mayonnaise and white bread. You smash it. Right? You smash it. That makes it better. I don't know why it makes it taste better, but it does. I'd fucking eat that whole fucking pound of cheese where there's no fucking cheese in it. That brick of oil that was gooey. And the fucking loaf of white bread. And drink that gallon of milk. And that was the bomb. But then I learned the truth. It was killing me. And when I learned the truth, what the fuck did I do? Stopped it. That's how the truth works. Ask any young boy who's ever stuck his wanker in the sucker end of a vacuum hose. You only do it once. Mr. Hader told me about that personal experience, and so I thought I would share it with you because he probably wouldn't tell you. That's how truth works. Most of the time it hurts you and it kills you. You want to avoid it. And you avoid it at all costs because it's too painful to look at. And then you want to be told that someone else has the solution. You want to believe in heroes. Crime Election Bureau. Here we are to save the day. I just don't have my fucking Mighty Mouse fucking uniform where you'd believe it. But that's all we're seeing. That's all we've been fed. It's all a sham. It's all a game. It's all bullshit. It's all designed to play into the system and then be weak. And then the president tells you, we got to get rid of mail-in ballots. What's the fucking GOP tell you? Bank your ballot. Well, it's not mail-in ballot. We're for bank your ballot. Well, what's bank-in ballot? Well, you go get that advance ballot. It's a mail-in ballot, or that advance vote, and you bank it because banking sounds great. Everybody wants to be good at banking. No, it's fucking giving them actionable intelligence on the front end. That's what they need. And then the same person that tells you that got paid, as I understand it, I could be wrong, $12 million. Sent around the cities with long, shiny hair, beautiful dude who could really pass for a woman. No offense, but got paid $12 million to tell you this. Bank your ballot. And oh, by the way, forget election day. They just used the wrong paper or they closed down the machines. So you gotta avoid that. You avoid it by banking your ballot. That's the rig. And all parties do it. And politicians don't want to look into it. Do you know why politicians don't want to look into it? Most politicians don't even know this shit. I believe I know why they don't want to look into it, because they have no idea if that's how they fucking got elected. And they're terrified. Oh shit, did they use this to get me in? You know that you don't have to have any fucking qualifications. So they refuse to look. They have no obligation to look. Fucking, they don't even have to be sworn in on the Constitution anymore. Their job's to raise money. I hate to be the bearer of bad news, and you can fucking hate me for it. I really don't give a shit. I'm okay in my life. I don't have to be loved. But I do have to be truthful and honest and ethical to my morals. And the one thing I promised you from the very beginning is I would always tell you the truth. So if the politicians are afraid and the system's conned and the system's rigged, who is it up to? And that's the bigger rig, because they'll give you heroes, they'll give you supermen, they'll give you messiahs, they'll give you wonderful Christian leaders that, will you join me in prayer? The people are responsible. I just passed to you the truth. I just passed to you the investigative tools that nobody teaches. I just gave it to you. People in Oregon, you can fucking push back on this. If you have the testicular fortitude, whether you have testicles or not, because what I understand, you can have them or not have them. It's not required for your gender identification. It's always good to carry a pair in your pockets, though, if you don't have them. It's harder to carry them in your mouth, carry them in your pockets, just from experience. I've tried. I'm just telling you, you're the cure. You're the cure you've been waiting on. You're the solution you've been waiting on. But when you go to these little bitty meetings and pizza parties and the Botow crowd, here it is, and I'm here and I'll do it. Here it is. You assign messianic godly powers to other people, and the people are deceiving you, and you expect that they're going to do it. Why don't you just expect you're going to do it? Why don't you just expect you're going to train the fucking system? 79 Bird says, I love you, and I love you back. Long time. Long time. And it's not long time Joe. It's Joe telling you, I love you, long time. Why don't you instruct your lawmakers? Why don't you, when you walk into your precincts and tell them this is what we need to do, and that fucking 80-year-old fucking precinct person that's been there 50 years and says, well, we're not going to do that because he's a disruptor. Why don't you get in their fucking face and say, wake up, you dumb motherfucker? Can you even see this? What does it hurt if we educate people to do this? All of that's controlled too. Because you know what? It's just like a homeowners association. It's the rat bastard that lives on the street that runs from homeowners president because they know nobody does. And now that rat bastard has power over you and goes around the neighborhood writing notes, taking down license plates, sticking stickers on your door. You better comply. It's no different in the precincts. But it's not the precincts' people's fault. It's apathy. It's lack of training. Oh, wait, they do training. We're going to train you to be a poll watcher. Fucking go to a nudie show and watch a ton of fucking polls. At least you'll get something out of it. But watching fucking polls at the election, what do you think? We're fucking back in the 60s and you're fighting off black fucking panthers? We need results. You want results, it's up to you. It's lack of knowledge. I pardon my crude mouth today. But I'm hurting for my country. I'm hurting for my children. I'm hurting for my grandchildren. And I'm hurting for you. And I'm ashamed of the system. It hurts me to believe our country has gotten this far. I love you all. I would appreciate if you'd share this program.
Start spreading the news. I'm leaving today. I want no friggin' part of it. New York, New York. These Hugo Boss shoes are longing to stray and take an Uber to LaGuardia, ta-ta, New York. I want to wake up in a city that's safe and free without that slick jive-ass mayor, Comrade Mamdani. It's clear that Gen Z knows no history, just DEI and woke philosophy. Imagine North Korea with a dash of Sharia. That's what you got. New York, New York. city that feels like home. And not with defunded police, migrants galore, man dummy run grocery stores. Thinks he's a genius. It's time to stick a fork in it. New York, you're done. Soon the tax base will be gone to Boca Raton, while Jaime Town becomes Commie Town. Should've elected the hack instead of the quack. Rest in peace, New York, Commie Town. New York, Commie Town.
Not fixing 2020 will damn our nation forever. The historic Maricopa County full forensic audit effort processed 20,895,610 digital and forensic images of varying formats, resulted in 208 million individual evidence-proof files. The system processed over 58 billion forensic measurements, resulting in over 2 trillion individual base computations. No hopium, no hype, just hardcore forensic evidence. Please make sure the Maricopa County Full Forensic Audit Archives survive. Donate now. So if you want what happened in the 2020 election fixed, then please donate to protect and secure this historic evidence. We can't do it without you. We need you. America needs you. Our future needs you. Please donate now.